Welcome back to All Blue Giants. Hopefully, this mic quality is okay because this is the third time that I'm recording this Giants versus Saints offensive review. The first two times had mic difficulties, recorded the whole thing, then listened to it back, was about to publish it, and the voice quality ended after a minute. Literally couldn't hear myself for a whole minute after the first minute. So, you know what they say, third time's the charm. It is currently 11 o'clock at night. And you know what? This Giants grind does not stop. I will never stop talking about New York football Giants, the New York football Giants. So let's jump right into it without further ado. Barring any other setbacks, we should be okay. But here's what we're going to do. This is the first time I've ever done this. Well, hopefully published it. This is the third time that I've done it. So I think I've gotten pretty good at this. We definitely will see. But the Giants lost 24-6 to the New Orleans Saints, and they dropped to 5-9 playoff hopes. Definitely didn't go all the way, but they went down at least halfway. The Giants won out. They had a 96% chance to make the playoffs, or 92, something like that. If they won 3, they had about 45% chance to make the playoffs. Which this is recorded. This should be out on Christmas Eve. So that's obviously a day before the Giants play the Eagles, which tomorrow I think I'll be with my co-host. We'll have a preview pod out for that game. So without further ado, let's just hop into this game here. So I will be reviewing the basically all the scoring drives for the Giants, and then a drive that I really want to highlight as what kind of did the finishing touches for this offense. This offense obviously did not play well at all, but let's hop right into it. Let me get closer to my mic. Take a sip of water. Let's hop into this thing. All right. So Giants open up. They get the ball first, touchback in the end zone by Groupie, the Saints kicker. So the Giants get it out the 25-yard line. And what do we got? Formation wise, we have a flex left high. It's on the line. We have Robinson in the slot who is off. Saquon Barkley is to the call. He is lined up next to Tommy DeVito. And then you have Bellinger right here, and you have Darius Slayton backside. What's the coverage looking like? They did this a lot. Trust me, I know. They either brought down a safety backside or they stayed in cover 2. Most of the time they played a lot of cover 1, but always, always, always 4 down linemen. So let's go. DeVito will take the snap. And I believe right here, yep. So if you weren't paying attention, you saw this safety come down, and this safety, they're playing one high safety here, and it's cover 1 man. These 2 routes on the outside are running goes. Saquon and Bellinger are the outlet dump off passes. Robinson is kind of running a curl to the sticks. DeVito wants to test them deep off the bat, and he throws to Slayton. A go ball, he starts just below the numbers here, and he kind of fades underneath the NFL logo, and here he is. But the problem is the safety reads DeVito's eyes. DeVito doesn't go over, looks at Hyatt, doesn't divert to Robinson, nothing. He stares down Slayton. Slayton has about a step on the corner, and you see the throw, and the throw isn't good, forcing Slayton to stop, and that's an incomplete ball. If DeVito would have led him or even just back shouldered him, that should be a good ball. I went over this in depth my last 2 times, but you see Matthew creep up, looking deep, has to slow down because the safety's in pursuit. So incomplete pass right off the bat. So it'll be 2nd and 10, and this is where they try to get the run game involved. They have a bunch left to the boundary, to the front side. To the boundary, it's just Hyatt alone. Once again, one high safety key. You see Bellinger. I believe they just try to pull Bellinger. They try to get Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan is going to come out the edge. They're going to pull him, and they're going to have Robinson out the backside, kind of like a fake jet sweep. Look at this. There's Bellinger. They leave Matthew. Matthew is the read man. If they were to do a read option, which they don't. Kick him out. Barkley gets the run blocking's okay. Doesn't really hold up well, so I believe he gains a yard. Yes. So now it's 3rd down and 9. Let's get another look at it. You see how the D-line shifts in a little bit, head up on the center, right outside the tackles, on the inside tackles. I believe that's 4-eye, if I'm not mistaken. But they're also on Bellinger. And you see just nothing good coming out of that. Anyway, that's all right. 3rd down and 9. Very wacky drive here, but they're going to go empty. Breida's out here like a tight end. Bellinger's out here like a tight end. You have Hyatt, Slayton, Robinson. Motion in Slayton, kind of like a buddy to like a kind of buddy. Buddy just means that the point receiver, the second receiver, is on the line, and the first receiver kind of motions in. That's sort of just how I was taught, but it just means like a duo left kind of call. So he motions in, try to bring this corner inside, and take a look at the alignment. You have 4 down. He's just manning up on Breida. I'm pretty sure they're running zone here, as you could tell from how deep they are. But this was the Bellinger play, which I did praise multiple times, because you see they're kind of protecting the sticks. About around here, you have 2 high safeties, and these 2 are kind of going to run around the same line and kind of both break out here, taking these guys away. Demario Davis is alone, and he's forced to try and make a play on Bellinger, who runs a kind of little 5-yard out route, a little leak route, wide open, gets the ball. He is short. The flat defender came down. Demario Davis came down and was able to make the play on Bellinger. Bellinger was used a lot more. Waller didn't play as much, but here's Bellinger's catch, low throw, short of the sticks. I'll save you guys some time. Come out here with a punt formation. They get running into the kicker. The Giants get 5 free yards, and the offense is back out on the field. So there's Shaheed falling down. That would have been a pretty nice punt. It would have been about at the 6-yard line, but offense stays out there. Immediately line up. What do they got? Kind of a bunch right, odd formation. They got Breida there. I believe that's Slayton, and I think Hodgins is the point man, or Waller. That's Hodgins. And they motion in Bellinger. So now Bellinger's here, heavy set formation, and look at the down lineman. 1, 2, 3, 4. He comes down, and they're still running 1 high safety. They stack the box, 7 in this box. They run the football, and I believe no yardage. So they try to establish the run even very early on. Like, obviously, he's not going to break off a run automatically, but they were trying to get it going. It really wasn't working. JMS couldn't get his guy downfield. They had a decent tiny hole, couldn't fit through it. So now they got trips to the front side, and Darren Waller one-on-one on the backside. They love to do this, leave him as the X receiver. As you see, still cover 1. They're going to have Barkley leak out. Barkley did this a lot. This is his big 17-yard play. Front side is, I don't know what Hyde's doing here. He kind of just stopped. Slayton's trying to push vertical. Robinson kind of stopped, and you have Waller do like a 10-yard into the sticks. Barkley does this little, like, he goes to the sideline, sees DeVito's rolling out of the pocket, immediately turns upfield. DeVito kind of back shoulders him. The defender really had no idea what was happening. This camera angle really doesn't do it justice, because it's a little late. The camera guy's really late on that. But you see Saquon kind of leaks out, a little fake chip leaks out, DeVito directing traffic, and what a catch by Barkley. Cannot emphasize this enough. 20 really didn't know when the ball was coming, so he couldn't make a play on it, but I feel like any DB would. Back to bunch right, Waller here, Slayton the point man, Robinson on the outsides, Hyatt one-on-one. Robinson gets motioned in, so now a kind of flex look to a duo like we saw before. You see the 2 high safeties, all right? Play action. What they try to do is have Waller motion over, and they call this kind of a leak route. He's going to motion over and go maybe 1 to 3 yards, a little shallow outside, and they would have DeVito on the run. They did this in a multitude of packages with Daniel Jones last year. They had the rollout. He would roll like this. They'd have him come across the formation, and usually another wide receiver or tight end do like a outside curl, or a curl comeback, or a corner route or a go. But instead here, they blitz the corner who was lined up on high at the point man. They blitzes, and you have Demario Davis who's been eating all day long. So here comes the corner, forces DeVito to plant, and he's just going to check it down. Robinson is open right here. You see the corner could make a play on there. Hyatt covered. You could wait for him. He's right there. You have to go with Waller here. He dumps it to Waller, and Demario Davis does a great job of limiting Waller to just a 1 yard gain here. Take a look at it again. Waller coming across the formation. You see the corner blitzes in, the running man. You could tell by the motion. Corner blitzes in, forces him to throw it early, and that's just great defense by the Saints. Really, you can't complain about that at all. Demario Davis went crazy. So now it's 2nd down and 9. And once again, I always felt how funny this was. They're going to bring this linebacker down, and now the entire line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you got the safety comes down, and you want to know why? So they come even, then DeVito shifts Breida to his right side. What do these safeties do? They call it, and they say, oh, wait, he's over there. He steps back up, and this safety's now, because he's on the right side. This is basically four possible defenders here on the right side, just one, so you don't really need safety help on he's coming down, so you don't really need a safety help over here. He's going to drop back. He's going to play the deep middle. He's going to come down and try and fit this bunch. When there's bunch, there's a whole different ways you could play it. They're always going to have the point man, and it's just going to depend where the second guy is. Usually the third is always covering the left side per se. So you see how Robinson does a little bubble route, but in the end, it's going to be either a screen or it's kind of RPO, but he's reading this defender. If he bites down, he could throw that there. Less people out here, obviously MDMing. Slayton has the point man here. Bellinger would have, if he comes across, he's not very. If he gets the ball, he's kind of in the way. So Robinson would just have to make one man miss, and he would have the most or whatever. But he doesn't get the ball. They give it to Breida. Blocking is all right. Demario Davis blows it up. Back-to-back plays. I believe they gain about a yard, 2. And now this will set up a 3rd down and 7. These are the longest plays. The last drive I show is kind of just like how everything went wrong when the Giants were still in the game somehow. But here it is. So it's 3rd and 7 at the 40-yard line. First down marker is about here at the 32-yard line. Not bad. What do they got going on? They love doing this bunch. It's kind of more spread out bunch. You could consider this not bunch. You could just consider it duo right. Breida's still in the game. Second straight snap he's in the game. DeVito motions. Breida, bail. All right, let's take a look at the defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's on Waller. 1 deep safety. You see the running zone, though, because no one flies out with Breida. So that automatically tells zone. Problem with this is Darren Waller gets absolutely beat off the right end by that backer. And what this does is you take a look at Slayton right now. Obviously, the freeze frame cannot tell the story on how open a receiver is. But I'll give you a few. This safety is playing the deep side. What Slayton and Hyde are doing are kind of deep over routes. So this is the first down marker. They're about 10 yards. He's going 10. He's going about 8. It's kind of like a rub route. They're not running zone. Either way, someone's going to get off guard. He's off guard here. Slayton is wide open here. DeVito has a clean pocket apart from Darren Waller getting beat. And I believe that they saw that they would send the blitz. And usually if they have 6, which they have only 5 here. If it's more than 6, I believe they have a hot call, and Burrito would probably get the ball most likely. But they don't. They have Waller blocking. He gets absolutely torched, forces DeVito to kind of step up, kind of shimmy shake, and look at Slayton. Look at Robinson. Robinson's running a post. He's running a dig. He's running an under dig. Slayton or Robinson, you see the safety is kind of conflicted. If you throw this to Slayton, like maybe while he was here, that is a first down, might be to the crib. But it's not. The problem with DeVito is, as we'll let this player run out, he's wide open, possibly Wandale. Let's look at the tighter angle. The problem with this is, look at Waller get absolutely torched by 31 on the cross side, and that's because 53 also pushed at him, so he didn't know who to get. He misses the sack here, and DeVito's, his eyes aren't downfield. His eyes are just to run. Obviously, it's an undrafted free agent. This is when the Giants settle for 3. It's an undrafted free agent rookie. So he's not going to know exactly what to do at every time, but even when you break a sack, you have to look downfield and you have to keep your eyes downfield. But that's all right. Giants settle for 3 and they take the lead 3-0. So let me go to the next drive, which didn't happen until 28 minutes and 15 seconds. So at this point, the Giants are down 7-3. 7-3, and they have a nice return by Gunner, and they have this ball at the 40-yard line. With about 2:55 left in the second quarter, this drive was weird. DeVito got injured on this drive, but let's see what they got first off, and we'll critique it here. What are the Saints running? Same old cover 1. Usually wherever the backer's lined up is what side he's going to be on, but he's still covering the deep 1. And you take a look, 4 down linemen. You got 2 closely matched up here. What does that tell us, if we've been paying attention? Is that they're probably running cover 1 man. Unless Bale, watch him back up. You see, I call this bail. This is just when, a receiver or a running back is motioning to the backside behind the quarterback. Robinson moves. You see they shift over. They disguise it as man, because usually when the corner is pressed up and the second corner is not, that's a tell for man, but it's not. You see this backer rolls out with Robinson. You see this is about where the sticks are. Slayton has a curl. Bellinger has a curl. A little out in. So usually you see immediately DeVito. This is working quick game here. Quick game with this. This is kind of, this is the backside if these aren't open, but they are running man here, right? Which is what we were talking about. They're running man, so what do you want to do? Run a man beater. Well, this is called a rub route. Saquon has a little outside, little flat route, and they have Slayton on a slant. What you ideally want is either this guy to get hung up unintentionally, not like a pick route, but unintentionally get hung up on Hyatt. So either Saquon's open and he could take this up the sideline, or the corner is more behind Slayton or Hyatt. The thing with this is Hyatt kind of gets jammed up by Yadam, and Yadam's at a nice spot. So he doesn't get jammed up by this. You see that they are able to avoid it. He's covered, but he has a chance to make a play at the ball. I think it hits off his fingertips. If he catches this, it'll be maybe an 8-yard gain. Ends up dropping it. Not a big deal, but a decent concept. DeVito's known, he hasn't been known for his quick game, which they tried to exploit there, or try it out. But obviously it didn't work, but that's okay. So incomplete. And then 2nd down and 10 here. Here's where it's not a drive killer, but I feel like if this didn't happen, we could have had a completely different outcome to this drive. So you have DeVito, flex right, simple formation, 2 receivers to his left, 2 receivers to his right, shotgun, Saquon to his right, 2 high safeties. You see 2 high safeties. They're okay. All right. They're running cover 2, Tampa 2. So he takes a look at the front side. Waller's covered here, is running an in. Slayton is also covered. Safety bites down there. You look at Saquon, kind of matched up man and man here. And Hyatt's running a kind of corner route. And, you could say Robinson's open, but take a look at the protection. Tyree Phillips gives up protection, and DeVito throws it away. Problem with this is he's not outside the tackle box. Cam Jordan disrupts a lot here. Tyree Phillips gets him outside, looking, doesn't find it. He gets a few seconds. The problem is he rolls out and goes basically into pressure. So it's not really Tyree Phillips' fault, but he rolls out. If you're going to roll out, you got to step up in the pocket and kind of see if you could trickle out here. Obviously, you see that. But he throws it kind of lackluster. And, you could say Saquon was in the way, but he's not. He gets called for intentional grounding. So that kind of backs the Giants up to a 3rd and 22, which at this point, you're like, all right, the drive's over, right? Well, we get bailed out, I guess, by a back-to-back penalty call. So trips to the right, remind you, and it's empty. So Breida's been working a lot as a tight end, kind of. And you see Bellinger's wide open here. They're running cover 2. They might be even dropping 3. I think they might be doing cover 3. But the 2 flat, they're giving up. They're like, all right, it's 3rd and 22. We don't care. We'll give up these 2 flat routes because you're not getting 22 yards. We're keeping everything in front of us. They're trying to run a deep concept of all 3 of these receivers are trying to get to the sticks or around the sticks, and they're running curls, which, maybe Robinson, but nah. But as you see, they're kind of doing like a 4-4-1. That's the 1 route, and a 4 and a 1 route. So these 2 are open. He throws to Bellinger, dumps it off, tries to get a few back. I think that's literally like a 3-yard pass. And Bellinger gets tackled by Taylor, who then they say was a helmet to helmet. These 2 are just running little simple. You see a chip and release, throw it to him, and boom. They say that it was helmet to helmet. They call him unnecessary roughness. The Giants get bailed out. They pick up 15 yards for that unsportsmanlike there. Trips to the left side, Bellinger to the right, and you have Saquon Barkley on the other side. See, cover 1. You see the safety coming down, but they end up giving it to Barkley. Barkley has a decent hole. I think that was about maybe his longest rush of the night. Maybe not, of the day. But it was decent run blocking. He picked up 3. It was a good, nice 3, and that sent us to the 2-minute warning, and they're about at midfield, literally at midfield. So the Giants are in good shape. 2 minutes left, and they're down by 4 points. So we pick it up outside the 2-minute warning, and this is where stuff starts to get crazy. DeVito flex to the right. We know this by now. Read option, give to Saquon. He stays out. It would be to RPO. These 2 are running, I think, a corner and just a flat route, which you're going to give because Cam Jordan didn't bite. So Barkley gets up there, gets a few. I think another 2 yards, and that's a timeout by New Orleans. New Orleans calls timeout with 1:25 left after this play. So you see, Jordan waits. Okay, give all day. That's how they teach it. Okay, that's fine. Even though the other 2 would have been wide open, Cam Jordan would have blown that up. So now, Robinson in motion off the left side. He's kind of lined up inside, right outside the tackle. Breida's in the game. This is where it gets crazy. DeVito loves these little short things. He's trying to work his quick game. They're running, cover 2. Yadam has to come down. He dumps it off to Breida. He'll pick up a nice chunk. Breida gets about 3, and then it's 4th down. So New Orleans calls another timeout. You could have hit Robinson. I think you wanted to get out of bounds because I think they only had 1 more timeout after this. Anyway, it's 4th down and 2. They're going to roll with 2 running backs in the backfield. They got Hodgins one-on-one on the left side. They're bringing down to the point, and you could see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down linemen. Definitely not a run, right? Nope. Read option. He bites down. DeVito's going to pull it, has Breida as a lead blocker. If he stays lateral, which he stays lateral, give to Barkley. Great blocking. Barkley picks up the first down. Not bad. So, which was a wasted timeout here. It was a New Orleans timeout, then a Giants timeout. I guess they thought about it, contemplated. I think they were going to punt. I don't really remember what the story was. But let's say they wasted their second timeout, basically. Not wasted. I mean, I guess you could have said they were looking at, whatever, but it does come to hurt them later on. So after this play, this is where, all right, Saquon gets 4 yards off this run. It's a give. Nice play call. All right, so they're set up at about the 40. So here we go. Trips right. DeVito takes a snap. 3 men rushing. He's going to take off. He immediately tucks it and runs it. Doesn't like anything he sees. The coverage was pretty good. You could have said maybe here, but okay. All right. Give him the benefit of the doubt. He slides, hit, no flag, wasn't helmet to helmet. Saquon gets mad at his old teammate, Isaac Yiadom. You couldn't really get mad at DeVito there. I mean, all right. He wants to tuck it and run it. Sure. Realistically, get out of bounds, maybe throw it away. You can't waste that clock, but you ended up, yes, wasting that clock. So that went down about 14 seconds, and then the Giants called a timeout. Then here comes Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor out. The Giants are at the 34-yard line, empty right off the bat, and you're just going to see, where is he? Matt Breida just get absolutely targeted, except for right here, where Taylor goes for Robinson, fits it right in there. That's a first down. Okay. Not bad. Maybe you had Waller on a little delay fade type deal if you could fit it in there. But all right, a little fast, quick. Taylor works the quick game better than anybody on a quarterback, any Giants quarterback currently on the roster who's able to play anyway. So anyway, after that, I believe the Giants. What are the Giants? Yeah, the Giants used their last timeout. And that wastes 7 seconds. Okay, so 32 seconds left. From the 29-yard line, you could put something in. You have one high safety. They bail. All right, cover 2. They disguise it well. And look here. He dumps it back off to Breida. Breida isn't able to make the catch. You could argue that maybe Hyatt here, he's one-on-one. I would have tested that 100%. I see that the safety's coming over, but if I'm Tyrod and immediately throw this, Hyatt can catch this right before the safety's there. Maybe can get inside the 15, maybe the 10, maybe he makes a miss. Ends up going with the short route, nearly picked, but it's not. So that'll give up 28 seconds, 2nd and 10, and Tyra just loves Breida, apparently. Let's take a look at this next play here. They're going to move Robinson out one-on-one here. Still a cover 2 look. Hyatt, Slayton, and they bring in an extra... No, that's Waller. That's Waller. Waller has a little out route. Slant inside. Breida just has a little... he's the check down. It's basically slants all around, and he gives it to him. Breida picks up a nice 8 yards. The problem with this is the clock's running. 28 seconds, and this goes all the way down to 6 seconds. Tyrod and them don't want to risk another play, even though they're inside the 25. They're still kind of far, no timeouts. So what they do is they wait, milk the clock down to 6 seconds, and they spike it with a fresh set of downs, and that's how the Giants get their 6 points after Jamie Gillen comes out because Randy Bullock got hurt. So I guess we could watch this beauty by the Scottish Hammer. Gunner as the holder. Scottish Hammer. He hasn't. I think they said he hasn't kicked since Cleveland. He also had tape on his left hamstring. He got hurt, a little banged up. So anyway, there's the 6 points. At this point, it's 7-6, and that's the end of the second quarter. So we're going to halftime at 7-6. Right off the first drive for the Saints, they go down and they score a touchdown after half. The Giants, they punt. And I believe this is where we're going to, I think this is exactly where we're going to lift off. Is 41-03. We're going to take a look at this punt drive by the New York Giants. Because they just scored. The Giants now are down 14-6. After this drive, it gets out of hand. I do want to look at turnover on downs. There's 2 of them, but I'll look at one of them, even though it really is just... All right. So the Giants get the ball here at the 25-yard line right after the score. And let's see. 1-on-1. Right side, you see cover 2. You see Bellinger on the left side. And you have Mark Glowinski come in. He was a fullback, motions in as a tight end. He goes in motion. They're trying to... Trent Williams, I think, did this. They did this with the San Francisco 49ers. Put an O-lineman in motion. Run it downfield. Decent block, I guess. Wait, let me pull this up real quick. And Saquon picks up a few. Flags fly. Illegal formation on the Giants. It was on Mark Glowinski. I believe let's see. I guess he didn't say that he was... I don't think he was set for a second. You have to be set for a whole second, like set 1 second. Okay, and then you go in motion. I guess that was what the call was. So that backs up the Giants 5 yards. So it's 1st and 15. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess he didn't say that he was off the line. Oh, no, he didn't. All right, yeah. So they called it illegal formation because he didn't check in with the referee. That's what it was. He didn't check in with the referee that he was an eligible receiver. So they called it illegal formation because he went in motion. So 1st and 15 from the 20. Mind you, it is still a 1-possession ball game. They're down by 8 points. Here they go. Flex right. Saquon left side. You got your guys all out there. And flags fly. After a pretty nice throw to Robinson, who could have picked up a nice chunk. And it's false start on Justin Pugh. Thank you for that nice scoreboard. I didn't even know that this was here. Why are we looking at the scoreboard? Here we go. Justin Pugh. False start. Real quick. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, you could see him kind of waddle his way forward. That's a false start, which it's a shame. That's a nice slant thrown to Robinson. So anyway, 1st and 20 now. 2 straight 5-yard penalties against the O-lineman. Glowinski, then Pugh. So it's 1st and 20 now. And let's see what the Giants do. So they have 1-on-1 out here, and they have kind of a bunch to the left. It's RPO. Backer doesn't bite. So they give it to Breida. Breida picks up, I think, 3 yards. Picks up 3. So it's 2nd down and 17. After that, which, that's the play call. You got to do that. Kyrie Phillips misses. Doesn't really matter. Not a huge play anyway. So it's 2nd and 17. You have Bellinger in the backfield as like a pro formation. Slayton, Robinson, Hyatt, Barkley. And a kind of Statue of Liberty. Look at Hyatt, try to give them backwards, and an immediate give to Barkley, which I think was a no gain. Yeah, it was literally a no gain. So on 2nd and 17, you're going to run a draw after running it on 1st and 20. So you run it on 1st and 2nd downs. Okay. And now it's 3rd and 17. 3rd and 17. You got to pick up 17 yards. Obviously, it's the beginning of the third quarter. It's still early, but this was a very pivotal drive for the Giants because the defense, the next two drives, I believe, gives up scores. So now they're playing cover 2. They can play cover 4. It's as far as you can imagine. And they were all out here with Breida and, it's Barkley, Bellinger. Bellinger's wide open, of course. They run over routes again. They love this concept where they're going to have two outlets off of a running back as another tight end and Bellinger as the other tight end. Then they're going to run a kind of over and under and a post. Love running that. And they ran it again. And, DeVito kind of just throws it a prayer up and it's out of bounds. And it's 4th down and 17. They literally ran this in the first quarter. It worked, except DeVito ran it for 2 yards. Once again, under pressure, can't look, throws it away. So that was, I believe, a pivotal moment for the Giants because right after this, the Saints go down and they kick a field goal. So now it's 17-6. Then they punt right back. Let's go take a look at this punt while we're at it. How much time are we at? 36 minutes. Sure. This will be a long one anyway. So they kick the field goal. And perfect. They kick the field goal. Giants get the ball back. Gunner lets that go. So it's 17-6 now. 17-6. DeVito's under center now. You have a motion in, crack. And this is a Daniel Jones special. They ran this a lot last year. Tried to fake the handoff, give him the kind of Aaron Rodgers fake, and he would roll out to the right, and you'd have, one guy going this way, a kind of corner and backside coming in with an in. No one's open, so he throws it away. All right. Then it's still, I guess you could say, early into the third quarter. I think it was 4 minutes left in the third quarter. So, that wasn't even a good fake, but it's all right. Bellinger just kept them in check, and DeVito kind of just is like, all right, we're not going to force anything. Take it. Fine from a UDFA. That's all right. Waller is in. Trips to the front side. Shotgun, give to Barkley, which I do think if he pulled that, he might have had some daylight, but that's okay. Let's take a look at the end. See what he read. The end is Yadam. Oh, no, the end is here. Okay, yeah, that's a give and a half. He was waiting. You got to give that, even though he made the tackle. If he's lateral, not moving, you got to give it to Barkley. So now it's 3rd and 7. And this kind of just puts the icing on the cake because I think after this, they score a touchdown on the next drive. Then I believe after that, we go for it. Turnover, they punt, go for it, turnover on downs, and we punt. So this is the last competent drive before it gets out of hand. Trips right. DeVito, they send a absolute heater, and he gets sacked. Take a look at that again. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, they have 4. He's kind of looking in. Matthew looking in. They send him, because they have their safety lined up, they send 2 corners off the side. 2. That occupies them both. They run a stunt. JMS doesn't know where he's at. Barkley tries to pick him up. Too many people. And that's the problem with this O-line. This O-line hasn't been able to get stops, hasn't been able to turn the ball over, hasn't really been able to do anything. But that'll wrap up the Giants versus Saints. Thank you all for bearing with me. Hopefully this is all right content. Hopefully, leave a like. Let me know how else, or if you guys want to continue to watch something like this. I will try to put out more content like this. But anyway, that'll do it. Giants, we'll do out a preview pod tomorrow. Giants take on the Eagles on Christmas Day. Happy holidays, everyone. And let's go Big Blue.